Michael, Space Marine 2 reveals post-launch plans, 4 seasons of paid cosmetics, and free gameplay updates, including new maps, weapons, enemies, and a horde mode. Michael, where are you at with the horde mode thing? I know it's been done so long ago when it all happened with Gears, man, but it seems to keep popping up every now and then.
I think a well-executed horde mode, obviously I'm thinking Gears, I think Zombies from Call of Duty kind of fits that mold as well. If it's really good, it can make a game. It can just take it to the next level, right? It's something that you always come back to. But as you said, it's so overdone that it feels like 90% of games, they have a horde mode. You play it once, it's super generic. It's either too easy, too hard, not engaging. So if it's a good horde mode, sign me up. If it's a bad horde mode, I'll look at it and never even play it.
Fair enough. But Andy Chalk over PC Gamer tells us all about it. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 is set to launch on September 9th. Dude, not that far away. But developer Saber Interactive has big plans beyond the initial release. The studio shared its year one battle plan, a rundown of 4 seasons of planned content that will carry the game deep into 2025. The Space Marine 2 Season Pass, included with the Gold and Ultra editions of the game, has been envisioned as a way to enhance your customization for your character. Publisher Focus Entertainment wrote in the update, quote, all the gameplay additions listed here in the roadmap, including weapons, game modes, and maps, are intended to arrive in, quote, free game patches, brackets, and will be accessible to everyone. Dude, that is the best thing. Going way back when Assassin's Creed came out with the multiplayer, dude, easily one of the best multiplayers I've ever experienced my entire life. There is nothing like it, and there still is nothing like it to this day. However, what they used to do is they would drop a new map and make you pay for it, and that would just sever the player base right in half. Because some would be all in, like myself, and others like, I'm not paying for this, which is too bad because all of a sudden now your player base is like struggling to find a game. People have learned their lessons over time, right? Interestingly, the first season of Space Marine 2 will be focused on player feedback, quick patches, and the addition of promised features like ultra-wide display support. No, Space Marine 2 will not have ultra-wide support at launch, which is a bit odd, but it will have an ultramarine support. Man, okay. Which I suppose isn't really the same thing. Sorry, private PvE lobbies. That should be a relatively short process, as Season 2 content is expected to drop sometime between October and the end of the year. Free content in the second season will include a new map, enemy type, and weapons, a harder difficulty level. Man, I never need a harder difficulty level. I'm always getting wrecked to start with. And various other improvements. While Season Pass holders will also get new cosmetics based on the Dark Angels chapter of Space Marines. Things get a bit vague beyond that. New missions, modes, arenas, weapons, all to be specified at some future date, and more cosmetic packs for Season Pass holders. Focus has also launched a new Focus Together community hub, where players can chat with our team, share feedback, or even suggest new ideas for Space Marine 2. The launch, quote, the launch is the start of a new chapter for all of us, end quote. The team wrote, quote, we'll continue to share regular community updates about the wealth of content that will be coming to the game through the rest of the year and beyond, end quote. Space Marine 2 didn't make a great impression when we checked it out in 2023. Dude, I just saw it on the weekend. I'm telling you, this thing looks incredible. Straight up. We were at Fan Expo. They actually had a booth there, and we went and checked it out. Dude, this thing looks stunning. Like, I'm very curious and anxious to get into the game. I've never played the Space Marine, and I've never really got into Warhammer either. I know there's two different kind of things. Man, Warhammer is a little bit confusing. There's just so much of it out there. It's hard to kind of narrow down. But I think this looks awesome. I know our guy Scott from the team is pumped. Can't wait to get in on this. There's a lot to do. Dude, to me, reading all this, though, it sounds like they went with the games as service model, didn't they?
Yeah, it 100% sounds like we're going to get that games as service model. That honestly has sort of become the industry standard, whether you love it or hate it. So it's not something you can really rag on them. I mean, there's thousands of games that follow this exact same model, right? Different tiers of battle pass, cosmetics. It all makes sense. It's all a way to bring in quick money for your game. So again, everybody does it, so I'm not going to hate on them for it. I can respect a roadmap. I think a year-long roadmap is a bit ambitious, right? You never know what's going to change. You never know if a certain mode's not going to work. That's why I think a lot of the guns and skins, as they mentioned, are kind of vague after you get past Season 1, Season 2. But I always like a good roadmap. It either will suck me in or I'll be like, all right, pass. So I like when they do that. I do think it's interesting. The one thing that caught my eye, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, Drew, when they said that first few months, first few weeks are going to be quick patches, that tells me that there's either already some things that they have flagged or they're worried about things. And if there's like some kind of game-breaking bug, something that goes wrong, they're like, look, we're going to patch it quickly. That could be a very tumultuous launch. So I'm hoping that's nothing. Obviously, every game's going to have a little bit of bugs that sneak through, but that was one thing that caught my eye. I'm like, quick patches. That tells me that there's already something flagged in their system, but I like everything else, as you said. Games and services is where we go. I love a good roadmap. This game's got me hyped. I'm with you. I understand that there are Warhammer games that are not in the Warhammer universe, and I played them. I know nothing about Warhammer 40K in its entirety, so this is a game that's definitely on my radar, and I definitely want to check out to kind of get more of that Warhammer experience.
No, absolutely, right? It's got the PvE element. It's got the co-op element happening in there. I'm looking to just jump in with some friends, have a great time, and just like plow through a bunch of people and a bunch of creatures and just shoot it all up. It looks like a ton of fun, and it is gory from what we were able to see over the weekend. Intense, but we want to hear from you. Hit us up, itgtv.com.